welcome to another exercise I've got for you today. And this is going to be a really juicy one. And it's one of those that I use myself a lot when I need to sharpen the focus. Do you ever wake up, and you can hear it in my voice today, I'm a bit hay fevery. I had a late night last night. I didn't sleep particularly well. There's lots of things that I need to do today. And sometimes things feel a bit foggy. And in those moments when I know I've got a full day, or I've got goals to meet, or I've got things to achieve, or results that I want, the quicker that I can get into a place where I can sharpen the focus, where I can really gain some clarity about what it is, what the thing is, the better it's going to be. Because otherwise, if I don't stop that loop, I just spend the whole day in that I just don't know what I'm doing. And to be honest, when I'm in that mood, it'd be better to do something else, go out for lunch, go to the park, read a book, watch the telly, whatever it might be. The phrase I want to give you today is going to be very useful for you and for your business. And actually, even though they're separate, they will work together. So, firstly, the phrase is mind the gap. Only because I live in London and I seem to be on the tube a lot at the moment. Do you know the gaps in terms of your business, in terms of your clients, that you fill? Do you know what those are? So if somebody was coming to you with a wish list of, I want this, I want to feel like this, I need to know more about this, I'm looking for this answer, do you know what your list of expectations are that you can meet? For example, if you were going to hire a painter and decorator, for example, you might have a wish list that says, I am looking for somebody who can advise me on paint, who knows how to prep a wall, who knows what paint to put where, who can stay within the lines, who can clean up after themselves. And if you were looking at painters and decorators, you would be looking for what they provide to meet what you are looking for. And I think sometimes, especially in coaching or even service-based businesses, where the result isn't particularly tangible, we can feel a bit wishy-washy in terms of our marketing. We're maybe not quite, we don't want to quite say what it is because it's different for different people. And also there's that fine line that we have to be careful in terms of ethics. So we can't say, I'm going to change your life. Are you looking for somebody to help you change your life? We have to be really careful in the way that we deliver those things. But what happens is if we are so vague, if we are so unclear, it all becomes a bit woolly. So first and foremost, I want you to spend some time today really thinking about those gaps that you help people with. So people will come to you in one way, like where they are in this present moment, and then they will have a place where they want to get to. And the gap is the bit in between. So somebody, if you're a website designer, for example, will say, hello, I would like a website, please. And I'm really stuck and I don't know much about technology, but these are the things that are important to me. This is what I'm selling. And the result that they want is a fully functioning, working, exciting, brilliant website at the end of it. So the gap is looking at what are the checkpoints along the way. So instead of just saying things like, I'll just help you with your online presence, I will create a beautiful space for you online. Brilliant. But what does that look like in terms of the process? Go into detail. And here's why this is also important. If you are not clear about what you provide in your business, you're going to be second guessing all of your content, all of your marketing the whole time, because you're not really sure where you're leading people or why you're leading them. And secondly, it's going to be quite unclear for other people. And you may have this. Sometimes I've had this in the past where somebody's like, I'm not really sure what you do. Are you this or are you that? And at first you might go, oh, they don't know what I do. They don't understand. Like, I've spent so much time trying to figure out this thing and I thought I was being clear. But actually, if you can put your ego to the back of the car a moment and say, there's some interesting and useful information here. Okay, there's a lack of clarity here. Right, that means there is more to explore for me. There's more work to do. There's more kind of fleshing out. I need to colour it in a little bit so it is clearer. The second thing I want to talk about is your own personal gaps in terms of your goals. So if we're just meeting for the first time, I have a portfolio career, meaning I earn money from acting, coaching, writing, speaking, podcasting, workshops, collaborations, affiliates. I think that's it. I think that is the income pie. And every year I set goals for my business. And when I'm talking about my business, I guess it's sort of me as my personal brand. And I love that piece of setting goals, asking the universe, mapping it all out, being really clear and specific about what that goal means and what will be happening when it comes true, and what am I looking like and feeling like and hearing, and all of that sort of sensory visualization stuff. I can do that really, really easily. What has helped me to build momentum and actually get closer to those goals and achieve some of them, because we're all a work in progress, right, is to then be a detective in this and saying, right, okay, so say you want it to be a Sunday Times bestseller, for example, and you've got an idea for a book. You've got the idea for the book, and the result that you want is X number of thousand of copies and a Sunday Times bestseller. So that's great. You know the beginning and you know the end. And I feel that for so many people, those are the main focuses. Like, oh, I know where I am. I know that I want this book, but I'm not doing it. And I'm looking at my habits and all of these sorts of things. And also you're very clear on the vision. Where I would love you to spend time is in that middle bit. And it's really getting to know yourself so you understand your gaps. Because yes, somebody might meet you in the supermarket and say, have you ever had an idea for a book? And you might say, yes, I have actually. And I'd love it to be a Sunday Times bestseller one day. And so they might say, well, that's funny. I work at the Sunday Times. Maybe we could just print it and share it with everybody. And we could do that by the weekend. The thing is, that is sort of unlikely to happen. So when I'm setting a goal, when I'm thinking about something I want in my life or my business, I am then inquiring of myself what needs to happen in order for that to come true. And this is when the gap question is really useful. What are my gaps? There is this assumption that we set a goal and then somehow we put it out there and it's going to come true. And really, that first bit, yes, it's so important. And the more you can visualize it, the more you can get into that goal, the better. But what's really going to make the difference is getting to know yourself and working with yourself so you can crack on. So one of my main questions is, whenever I've set a goal, I then think about what I don't know or what I haven't figured out. And I get really clear about it with no shame, no judgment, like bring it to the table. So if I was looking to be a Sunday Times bestseller, for example, I might say, well, my gaps at the moment are, excuse me, I don't have an agent. I don't have a writing discipline. I don't have a big enough social media audience, I would say, in order to sell a book to the level that I would want. I'm not really clear on my idea. Like, I think it's this, but I'm not quite sure. So already I'm getting pieces of the puzzle coming together. So I'm saying, right, okay, I need to put a strategy, therefore, to grow my social media following. Or I therefore need to research agents. I therefore need to work out how I'm going to build that consistency plan in terms of writing regularly. I'm going to ask myself questions about when that time of day might be. What would I need to have in place to set myself up for success? And quite often what then happens is I begin to get answers. So therefore, I need to email that person. So therefore, I need to hire somebody to help me with X, Y, and Z. And what shifts then is that you then make decisions from quite a neutral place. You don't make them from a, nothing's working, I can't do it, is this ever going to happen, it's so annoying, etc., etc. And you make them from a needs must, like the next thing on your to-do list. Okay, the next thing on my to-do list is to book a session with a coach. The next thing on my to-do list is to start emailing people and get my numbers up. So say I'm going to email 10 people today. You then operate from that place. You operate from that place of being ready, like, let's go. Oh, I'm doing this thing. Rather than just assuming you are so far away. Last night, I started a screen acting course. So I trained as an actor many, many years ago, and I've done lots of training over the years. But for me, because I want to do more screen work this year, I knew I needed to, again, my gap was when that call comes in for an audition for a telly job, I don't want to have my first instinct going, oh my gosh, it's a telly job. Oh, how exciting, and being in that energy. I want to be in that energy of, great, let's go. I am on script a lot of the time. I am filming a lot of the time, and being in that rhythm. And so the reason that I chose this course and applied and then got a place on it was that I was really excited about having that 10-week container. I was really wanting to be in that container of learning once again. Because I know that for me personally, again, looking at gaps, once I have established a habit, say for 10 weeks, I'm in the groove then. Like, I am doing this thing. And what doesn't work for me is when I'm a bit flaky, when I'm doing things when I feel like it, or I'm in or I'm out, or like I do something every couple of years. If I want to see a result, and this is just me personally, from something, I need to get in the groove. I learned this from doing hot yoga. Last April the 4th, 2022, I embarked on a yoga journey once again. I go to hot yoga. It was really annoying the first month because not only was my practice so far behind what I thought it was, again, I'm trying to share this and not bring any shame or judgment to it, but it's true. It was one of those moments where I just thought, oh gosh, there's so much work to do. And secondly, it was really annoying because even at the end of the first month, I thought, well, I haven't got like this incredible flexibility or this Zen-like presence or this yogi body that I thought I would get like in 30 days. Now, nearly 14 months, just over 14 months later, now I'm in the groove. Now, every single time that I go, it feels like my growth is exponential. So it's literally like I can do something new every single time. I'm bolder and braver in my choices. So I'm in the groove of doing that thing. And so doing that work for myself of what is the goal. So my goal in terms of the yoga was to be stronger, reconnect with my core wherever it went, and really be in a place where I felt connected in my body, where I would have those moments in the week where there were no phones, no distractions, no having to make people snacks. This was time for me to process, to let go of stuff. Like I had a big long list of what I wanted to get to. So I knew that that was the goal. But then I had to work out the gaps in between. So how was I going to get there? Well, I was going to get there by signing up for a contract for 6 months. That's how it begun. Honestly, if I'd done like a 5-class pass thing, I might have gone a couple of times, but I know myself. I'm in or I'm out. And I've realized that with my goals that I need to go all in, but I can't necessarily go all in as in like change my life around and do everything on the daily. So I have to set those measurements for success for my goals. So those are the 2 questions for you today. What are the gaps that you are filling as the business owner? Secondly, what gaps do you need to fill? And have these gaps, in terms of personally, been around for a long time? And sometimes I've had this moment where I've said that I was working on something, or I was hoping that things were going in a certain direction, but I wasn't making progress, or the result wasn't coming as fast as I wanted it to. And so when I looked at that gap of what was going on behind the scenes, that was when I had to say to myself, okay, this gap, it's going to require something else. So is it, I don't think it's Einstein, but it's somebody like what's got you here won't get you there. Sometimes it's time to look at that gap with fresh eyes, with a new energy, with a different support system, with accountability. This is my invitation for you to book a free call with me. I work with so many different types of people: founders, creatives, entrepreneurs, chefs, personal trainers, photographers, what else? Psychologists, speakers, lawyers, founders, technology, like there's so many different types of people. And where I am really great is I help you to bridge that gap. So you might say, I want a website. So you might say, okay, I hate my corporate job now, or like I'm self-employed and I'm not making any money. That might be where you're beginning. The end goal might be, I want to have a website that provides endless income streams for me. Brilliant. So the gap is where we work together, really establishing what you need, what's going on, what's going to work for you. This is a really important piece of our work because it's not generic. It's not a step-by-step guide where coaches will say, just do these 3 things and off you go. This is about working with your personality, with your goals, and with your circumstances. So I remember a coach once saying, and I was about 6 months into motherhood, exhausted, beside myself, emotional. He said, what time does your child get up? I was like, about 5. And he was like, great. You need to get up at 4 and work on yourself. But what he didn't know was, yes, it would make sense. Get up an hour before your kid and you could have that time in the day for you. But what he didn't know was that the baby had been up at 8:30, 10, 11, 5 past midnight, 10 to 2, 3:30, 4, and then awake for the day at 5. And so when we work together, this is about you. This is about going at your pace with your goals. I have no agenda here. This is about really reconnecting with you. And also, there's nothing else out there to measure it against. There are some people who want all of the things. And then there are some people who are like, I just want to do these things, but do them really brilliantly. So if you've been inspired today by listening, by watching this, do subscribe. I would love that first and foremost. Also, come and book a call. That is the best way to get started. We can sit down. It's not a sales call. I haven't got a script. It's literally just a chat. Go to the free section of my website. So go to the declare and share section, which is honestly just that. I want you to declare and share what it is that you want to do. What's exciting you? What's your idea? What's bubbling under the surface and won't leave you alone? And you're like, I think it is my time. It is your time. You're probably watching this for a reason. So you can go and do that. Also, you can go and find more of these sorts of videos over in my freebies house. There is a big selection of different things. So if you want to really like dig into the gaps maybe of your money or your digital presence or your goal setting, you can just go in there and unlock all of those things. Or if you're just ready to go to my website, nickyraby.com, and find out how we can work together. If you're not sure what you need, just send me a message or email me, hello@nickyraby.com. Lots of love. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.